So we have this whole tub full of onions. We're going to go through these. We're going to separate the greens from the whites. We're going to freeze them after we chop them. Now, these were picked not yesterday, but the evening before, so we're going to lose a little bit more of them than we originally planned. But we're still going to process what we can of it. That way we don't lose all of it. So, how are we doing this? Well, y'all watch and find out. So basically, we have two separate cutting areas. This one for the dirty, and this one for the clean. So I'm just picking up the onion. I'm cutting off the root, putting it in my compost, that you may not can see. There we go. And then I'm peeling off, just like we do a regular onion, the dry skin and everything to where I have a clean onion. After I finish that, I will wash it still. But it will be clean and all the dry skin will be gone. Because we don't like the dry skin. It don't chew well. Alright, so there we go. This one's ready. Now we're going to take and cut it about right here. So all of this will still act like the white of a green onion, while this is ringed like a regular onion down here. Okay, so we're going to cut this part right here, and then we'll chop this up and put it with the green onions, and chop this up and put it with the regular onions. Alright, so we're going to wash this pile in a minute. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut off all the yellow stuff, okay? So like this piece here, I would cut off the yellow, and I know I cut that on that pile. I'll cut off the tips that are yellow. Okay, so I'm going to put all that in my compost here. So I'm making a pile of greens and a pile of whites, and then we'll come back and cut them when I get a bunch ready. Alright, let's wash what we got. I'm going to dry the greens, and then we're going to chop the greens. So I'm basically just pushing them together, as you can see here, just pushing them together and then just chopping them up. Then I'm going to pour them in the bowl with the green. Now, like I said, these are going in the freezer, so let me get a Ziploc bag. So the design of this is to where I can just reach in the bag, get what I need, throw them in whatever dish I'm making, and carry on. So I'm just going to use little quart bags, and I'm not going to like pack them in here. I'm just going to put them in loosely, but then I will squeeze the air out as I close the bag up. Okay, I'm going to seal it halfway, and then I'm going to push it down, get as much air out of there as I can. Continue sealing it while it's pressed. Voila, vacuum packed bag almost. I'm going to squish it around, make it flatter to where it'll fit in my freezer. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in the freezer now. I should have labeled those, so make sure you label them. That way you know when you harvested them and what it is and all that. Now let me wash this part. Same thing, we're going to dry them because they are going in the freezer. I want as little air and moisture in there as possible. That way it doesn't freezer burn real fast. Okay, so now we're just going to take and chop these up also the same way we did those. Be careful, don't cut your fingers, don't bleed on your product. You definitely want a good knife and a sharpener because your knives will go dull while using them. Now we just have, this is a pretty decent knife. We got this at Big Lots. There's a knife I like better, but it's dirty. And this is a knife sharpener that we got at Walmart. And it does the job. Just clean my blade off for a second. And then pull it through it. And then always wipe your blade off or wash your knife before you use it again. That way all those little metal shavings are not on your knife. And then it cuts so much better. Because like I said, your knife will dull while using it. Okay? So there you go. We'll put these in a Ziploc bag as well. Throw them in the freezer. Now these will not compact down as well as the onion greens did because these are solid pieces. If you have a vacuum sealer, use it. We will be taking some of this and making onion powder, running it through the dehydrator. So watch till the end. fill the dehydrator. I'm going to use this pan, which is for usually a fruit leather, but we're going to use it anyway. We're just going to sprinkle some of these greens on here. We don't want them falling through the actual holes in the screens. And as you can see, they will definitely fall through. So we're going to use this pan. We're going to fill it up, spread it real thin, single layer. So just keep spreading it until you get it done. And then we're going to put it in the dehydrator. Now we have a Cosari dehydrator, and it came with these racks. So most everything falls through that by the time it's dehydrated. So they make these nice little silicone mats that's like a screen, okay? This was a cut to size type, and so we cut it to the size of our trays. Now, I can put either one of these on here, it doesn't matter. I put the greens on the other one because it's solid and there's no airflow. These have more density to them, so I'm going to put them on the screens instead of the flat pan. Now, how many of your onions look like this? These are kind of tough to eat, the stalks. Some people like to eat these, and we could. In fact, I may cut them off and save them, but you know what else you could do with them? This is the part, if you don't like to eat these, that you dehydrate for sure. Because then you can make powder out of this and you'll never know that it's tough. So let's do that real quick. Let's get these ready to go in. I think I am going to save these tops. I may saute them later. Alright, here we go. Let's chop them up. Now, like I said, these I'm only putting in the dehydrator. See how much tougher they are? These are bouncing around. These are holding their shape. These are usually not the ones that you want to eat where you want a tender piece of onion. Now, can you cook these down? Oh, I'm sure you can. I haven't tried yet. But this is perfect for making dehydrated onions. Or onion powder. Once they're dehydrated, throw them in the blender, make them dust. Who knew, right? Want to make onion salt? Take that powder and add salt to it. Blend the two together. But I would leave them separate and salt as needed instead of putting the two together. See how they're just bouncing all over the place and going? I mean, I'm going to have to clean the floor. Got onions all over it. And it's supposedly toxic to dogs and cats, so I don't know if it really is or not, but we're not taking chances. Misty is 8 or 9. No, 9 or 10. Callie will be 12 this year in October. Mushy outside is about 9 or 10 also. Trouble is 10, I believe, because we got him in the end of 13 and he was almost a year, so at the end of this year he'll be 10. Sister, of course, is going to be 2 in August, and Marshall is going on 4 almost. fill up the sheets with these. These really get tough down at the end. Okay. Just a single layer, guys. The thicker you make it, the longer it takes to dehydrate. And anything with a lot of moisture in it will take longer to dehydrate on its own. So keep all that in mind. My house is going to stink today. You can do the same thing with garlic and garlic greens. Now the garlic greens will not have the potency of the bulb itself, but you can still do it with it. And then you got garlic, minced dehydrated garlic, or you can powder it and make garlic powder. Now you more than likely do not want to run anything else in the dehydrator with the onions unless you want everything to taste like onions. Just saying. Things that don't have strong smells you can mix together and possibly not contaminate the other, but this is onions. Unless you want your apple slices tasting like onions, you do not want to put the two together. Now the screen on this one came with the machine. It's actually smaller than the screen itself, so I can't get as much on here as I want to. It's also a harder plastic. It is more like a needle point plastic canvas. If you know what plastic canvas is, that's kind of more like what that is. Last tray. And there we go. Dehydrator is full. Alright, dehydrator is full. Isn't that awesome? Got all those onions going in there. Alright, let's close the door and get her started. Alright guys, we're going to get ready with some more onions. We're going to get some more onions ready, and we're going to go ahead and finish up this video. So if you like what we're doing, y'all make sure you give us a like. If you want to tell me something, have better ideas, have better ways, methods, tell me your thoughts on what we're doing right and wrong, feel free. Make sure you leave us a comment. Alright guys, make sure you share. That's the way you can help us out the best, by getting more eyes on our videos. We enjoy doing this, and we look forward to the next time we get to see y'all. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, that way you'll know when new videos are coming out. Guys, we will see you all later. Bye from Cedar Creek Bottoms.